What's going on, everybody?
Yep. Another, well, I wouldn't say
Rainy.
another wet evening because it's our first wet anything in a long time.
Is it?
Oh, talk dirt to me. Talk dirt to me.
It was just too much, man. You just threw like such an easy one there.
I put it right there on the tee for you.
You did.
You just reared back and knocked it out of the park.
Welcome to the show, man. New listeners, you know what you're walking into already.
Yeah, but it is raining. It has been raining for about 15 hours now.
Man, yeah, I don't even...
Nonstop. I mean,
I'm
the old
curious.
saying, when it rains, it pours. It hadn't rained enough to even matter for the last, about 6-7 weeks,
Oh,
maybe?
man, yeah.
And you have any idea on what our total's getting to right now?
I was trying to look right now and see. I know...
My dad told me about 3 o'clock. It may have been right here. He said they were about 3 inches.
Yeah.
And so we got to be at 4 or 5 inches now. I mean, it's 9 o'clock now. That was 6 hours ago.
I don't know when this was updated, but on my farm
I'd say
in
4 inches.
Rosemark is showing 4.2 inches right now.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. Everybody's like, you checked your gauge? It's like, well, it's like,
what's the point until it stops?
You're right. I was like, no, I'm not worried about checking it until it stops.
Yeah. We're definitely 4 inches according to that, and I mean it's still spitting and
it's been a good rain, as far as like it's. I mean, it's
man, I would have killed for this rain a month ago.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. It's, I mean, it's 9 p.m. right now, and I was feeding and checking my heifers a little before 6 when it was still dark, and it was starting to sprinkle, just barely. Yeah. And so it's been raining, for 15 hours. But
we do got to send our prayers down to our brethren in the Louisiana area and all down there, because, man, I know some of the farmers were pretty concerned.
Yeah, probably just with flooding and low-lying fields.
Yep.
I know
some of the sugar cane, from my understanding, I was listening to one of the farm channels, farm marketing things I was listening to, and they were saying that the cane can get like blown over, but they can still harvest it. I don't know. I haven't talked to a cane farmer about currently, but he said the worst would be their soybeans. He said they could take a lot of damage. So I don't know.
Well, that's what, wind. Kelly Griggs, I was messaging her on Instagram. She said, they're just hoping cotton don't get blown down.
Yeah. I'm not sad I don't have any corn right now, because I had terrible green snap. When was it? Last year we had straight line winds?
Yeah, it was last year you had some real damage, which I was going to ask you, is this rain going to help those late beans significantly? Is it too little? Or it ain't too little, but is it too late?
I don't know. It's going to be close. The very last beans that I planted, maybe a little bit, but for the most part, I'm going to say it's probably pretty much done.
Well, it'll help our fescue for this fall, but we already made the decision we're going to sell heifers.
Yeah.
Because pastures got just super short, but my ponds on that farm, I got city water, just a meter and a hydrant on one end of it. My other 2 pastures, one's just got springs that they have to water out of, which I haven't been able to use that pasture in probably a month.
Yeah.
Because the springs, those ditches just dried up.
Yeah.
And then on the other end of the farm, other extreme end, I've got 2 ponds, but they're old ponds. They're kind of silted in like they do. And, oh, man. But, I mean, but that's my best pasture on the place. So I was thinking, even if it rains just super hard and it all runs off, at least my ponds will
refill.
Yeah.
But, well, I know, man, I tell you, Dad, he cut some beans Tuesday. I was hoping to start today. I was going to start Thursday.
Well, I was wondering how many people that were right on the verge of needing to start would say, all right, let's just wait until after the storm goes through.
I think a lot did, because I've still got some of those. Right now, it's early enough. You still have the green patches you run into. When you start harvesting, you inevitably will hit some, because we didn't desiccate them. Some guys around here have been.
I noticed quite a few fields where they had. You can tell sprayer tracks, and obviously just.
I didn't want to do it, man. You just run over a bunch of beans, and
it hurts my feeling even driving by the fields. I can't imagine me in the sprayer.
Yeah, because when you run over them, then
I mean, I guess they've done the calculation, and
it's about 2 bushels per acre.
And maybe they've got so many acres to get harvested. They're worried about
That's what
crop damage later on in the year. They're like, we got to get in the field.
The guys that have done it the most are the big guys.
Yeah, they're
like, hey, we got to get in there.
They know if they don't start now, they'll still be cutting beans in the middle of December, and by then their beans are popping out. You know, it's a trade off. You know.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was gonna start, but then I mean, which I'm still. I got to get a couple more pieces. I got to go to John Deere in the morning and get a couple more parts for my header. But
it's a good day to be working on that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Can't do nothing else. But
well, Dad, man, I tell you what, I went out there and I was trying to help him calibrate his monitor and stuff. But man, them beans, they were bad to the bone. We were cutting. I rode with him for a little bit, and they were cutting in the high. Now these were the first beans he planted. He planted them in early to mid-April. And they were cutting mid to high 70s into the 80s. I mean, that's phenomenal. Now, this ground is good ground. They cut in the 70s out there last year, but they were cutting. I mean, every now and then you'd see the monitor, it'd jump up to 95 bushels per acre, which is just unheard of for a normal, just dry land. But, I think the early beans are going to be great.
You say you got to go to John Deere, do a little shopping in the morning?
Yeah, I got to get a couple more parts for my header. I got to fix my air conditioner on my tractor. I got a bunch of stuff. My service truck's been in the shop getting the air conditioner fixed. My tractor air conditioner's out. I got a compressor and stuff for it we got to put on. Yeah, my header's got some parts. So, I mean, hell, I ain't even. But my service truck has been gone all week. It's been at the shop literally all week.
Oh, man.
So I have had.
Just for air conditioner trouble?
Yep. I have had no tools. I've had to bum.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I've had to bum tools off of Dad, but then they went to the field, so they've had both their trucks. So I have like a toolbox I threw together in my pickup, and I did some servicing and stuff on the combine, but I don't even have a grease gun. Like I was
that's one reason why I finally bought me a farm truck, because used to we just had a truck, and my wife would want to go to a horse show or something, and even when I didn't have near as many tools then as I do now, all my tools would be in, and it would never fail. Never fail. Like I'd have nothing planned to do. Like I was just gonna be chilling. Me and Willis would be at home. The girls were going to a horse show, and I hadn't used a tool in a month, and I would need it. And it drove me insane. But no, the point was you sound like you're spending a lot of money. So
yes.
You know where you need to be shopping?
Agzaga.com. You got the hat on.
Yeah, because when you're shopping there, you're never paying full price. You're using that discount code Talk Dirt.
All one word, all caps.
But
if you don't use it, you're gay.
That's right. I rolled a little hay with a little of their. I'm still using the blue and gold FFA net wrap. So not done rolling hay yet. Anybody you're running low on net wrap, you won't beat their deals. The shipping and all, and then you can get that 10% off. But check them out. That's not the only thing they got. But.
And while you're doing that, go to talkdirtpodcast.com, and we need you guys to shoot us some messages, leave us some ratings and reviews.
I'll give a shout out. Kyle up in Pennsylvania ordered 2 shirts today.
All right.
They're sitting in my Jeep right now, already packaged up.
They're buried underneath all the other shit in there.
No, they're sitting on top. They're right there in the passenger seat. I got to drop them at the post office on my way into town in the morning. But y'all, he heard the shout out we had last week for shirts. Yeah, he bought 2. So if anybody else wants one, you better get on there and get them fast.
Yeah, because it sounds like we're probably going to be getting thin. I got to get us some hats too, because we're out of hats.
I need to order some more hats for Hurricane Creek as well. So
we'll keep working on the swag. Do appreciate you guys. Spotify guys, I gotta keep commending them, man. Every time I check, they're bumping them ratings up on Spotify. We're like breathing down Joe Rogan's neck, man. He ain't gonna know what to do.
Yeah, Tucker already overtook him, and now
Talk dirt to me. We're gonna be right there.
What you drinking?
New Riff. Man, I like that. That's good stuff.
Going with the New Riff.
I did buy some of your favorite here lately. Did I tell you?
So I'm
the cock.
The chicken cock.
The chicken cock.
Okay.
I like it a lot, but I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, because I really we've said on here many times, I drink when we record here, and I usually drink maybe Friday and Saturday night. So I have a glass of whiskey maybe 3 nights a week. So that's not a lot of drinking. I have 1 glass.
And it's just vodka the other nights.
Yeah, just vodka and with a little water in there. I drank that chicken cock. It's 90 proof. I had my 1 glass, and I was a little disappointed when I got done.
It's not hot enough for you.
No, it wasn't. I think the new riff, ain't it like 100 and something proof?
I think it might be like 120.
115.
Yeah, 115.
Yeah, I like that stout stuff, man. What you drinking?
Eagle Rare.
All right.
Which, I let my kids pick for me last week. My wife picked for me tonight, which kind of leads me to something I wanted to mention briefly. So I was like, she said, get the Eagle Rare. And my son was already in bed. My daughter was like, yeah, whatever mommy said. I was like, I love Eagle Rare, but I was like, that's kind of my top shelf sort of stuff. Like, I've got 4 or 5 different bourbons up there. I was like, I don't know. And my wife's like, no, we got reason to celebrate.
She's pregnant.
Not that I know of. Now just kind of bringing it back to ag and whatnot. I know we've been negative these last few weeks. On the outlook in ag. My wife works in ag too. Now she works for an ag marketing company that I won't call out by name, but she called me yesterday. I was getting ready to go to the field and roll some hay, and kind of not really in a panic, but kind of a little bit freaking out, where she just got off a call where I don't even know how many people were on the call. Wouldn't have been the whole company because they're like a global company.
Yeah.
But they're restructuring.
So laying off.
Basically, they're having layoffs. And they had just gotten a new CEO recently, and of course they have a different vision or whatever. And she was like, I'm pretty sure, like, if I didn't misunderstand, like, I think the people that were on this call were the safe people.
Yeah.
And because like they weren't just notifying everybody and like, yeah, check your email later. Some of you guys are getting axed. Like all those people had already been notified.
Yeah.
And they weren't on that call. But and she was right. That was how it went down. But man, yeah, when commodity prices suck, I mean, it kind of trickles up,
Yeah.
The farmer obviously suffers, but then it goes all the way to the salesmen, the distributors, and then them being a marketing company, they basically work for a lot of those bigger companies that are selling a lot of ag products and services and whatnot. But
well, that's rampant. Case is doing layoffs.
Yeah,
I just saw Case H. Sam, this for people that aren't watching.
If you're watching on YouTube, you probably just saw me lose about 6 inches. And,
this chair leaks down.
Yeah, this fancy office chair that Logan has in here. See, it lasted we sat here for about 10 minutes before we started recording, so it lasted about 25 minutes tonight. But
I'll bump mine down a little bit. You're just going to do it again.
I'm going back up, and I'll just slowly sink back down.
Oh, shoes. And that... Yeah. The chair, it won't. Sometimes it does. Bobby Lee plays with his
Everybody
fate.
knows you've had the cheap little office chairs you can raise up and down. The ones that kind of over time slowly lose their I don't know. I don't know if it's
their hardness.
Yeah. Right.
With time.
Man, we've had all kinds of innuendos in this one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did see where Case was doing layoffs now. And,
she's like, I mean, that's legit. I mean, I don't know. And part of me is like, I mean, she's safe. She made it through. But I'm like, and I didn't say it's to her, but like, you're safe for now.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like, maybe we need to get it into a different industry.
And she had left ag at one time for a little while. I was in the medical industry, and I think she actually liked that, but it's just the company and the leadership and kind of the people she was under there, it got a little bit toxic. And so she left and went back into ag. But
well,
yeah, ag's tough, right? I mean, it's
I'm gonna need a good marketer when I start pushing that cocaine.
Well, and they do like market research, so she could tell you where the markets are.
All right,
potentially.
Yeah,
if you hired her on, she could go out and do some surveys on the street and find out if
that seems like that could be dangerous.
What's that?
The research part of the cocaine.
Oh yeah, probably specifically for cocaine, but she does a lot of like those. Do you ever have people call you and ask, like, would you be willing to do a survey?
I thought you were ready to say when I'd be willing to do a line.
Hey, it took us 15 minutes to get to a cocaine reference.
I was not going to let one go. At this point, guys can just about guarantee there will be a cocaine reference in every episode.
But do you ever have companies like call you or email you, be like, would you be willing to do a survey?
Oh, yeah, I get a lot of emails.
I get a lot of emails more from the vet side to do it, and some from the cattle. I do some for like UT Extension, but yeah, because I'll like come in the house and she's in there like in her little office, and I can tell she's on the phone like with a farmer.
Yeah,
it's like, what chemical, and it's just going through, and they're trying to figure out for these chemical companies and whatnot.
So she's the one I always hang up on.
She might be. Now, usually by the time she calls you, you've already agreed to do it,
okay.
and they've set up a time because.
Yeah, I'm terrible with that. I don't ever do those.
Sometimes I'd have to ask her specifically with this company, like there may be like a reimbursement, or send you an Amazon gift card or some bullshit, but because some of them take a while, like they ask you a bunch of questions, like what chemical, do you use? Would you be willing to, again, because they're just researching for a company that's thinking about launching a new chemical and trying to determine is there a market there for it and whatnot. But anyway, the ag field, the industry as a whole, it's tough right now.
It is definitely tough right now.
But yeah, I got the Eagle Rare tonight as she's like, well, you got reason to celebrate. And I was like, okay, good point. We'll pour one. You twist my arm, talk me into it.
Well, that is Eagle Rare is my favorite. But yeah, man, the industry is down bad, and I think this, as we've said in past episodes, now is just the time to get creative. And we've actually had some people that have reached out through our various episodes that have decided. They've told me they've basically decided to pursue ag in a different direction. Originally, they're like, I'm just going to be a row crop farmer. And now they're thinking like, well, I'm going to look into the more niche elements of ag, like, maybe some of the produce side, or maybe the, direct to market beef and different things like that. They're kind of going in that route.
Insurance fraud,
of course.
Good ways to make money quickly.
A lot of guys are doing that one. Yeah. It tends to not work out very well, but yeah.
Well, not long term, but you can be a high roller for a little while.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, what else? You got a couple other, because we got a lot of questions. There you go. Man, you just need to
All right, I'm just going to be a low rider.
I was going to say, you just got to let it just.
I only stayed up for about 2 minutes. I didn't even mean to do that one.
I know. I have resisted. I was going to say something.
Well, and kind of leading into, speaking on the insurance, and I was, of course, joking about the insurance fraud. All this rain we've gotten today, because again, for those of you that aren't right here in the Mid-South, Hurricane Francine. I mean, and pretty much all week they're like Memphis, and we're just north of Memphis. They're like, it's got a bullseye on us, and pretty much they were exactly right.
For once in their life.
Let
me lower down.
Weatherman was right. But so we use different types of insurance with LRPs, which is livestock risk protection. But then we also do PRF with our buddy and former guest, 2-time guest, William Lee.
I'm struggling looking at the video here.
Yeah, you can barely see my head over the table, but those of you that don't watch on YouTube, you're missing out. But,
you are.
So the PRF insurance is pasture, rangeland, and forage. Basically, it's rainfall insurance.
Yeah.
And so it's all for, like, if we get into a drought, and I think if you drop below 90% of the historic rainfall for the previous 10 years. So
I got you.
But it's for a 2-month window. So for instance, if it normally rains 10 inches in August, September, and we get 9 or less, it pays.
Yeah.
But the way you have to sign up for it, it's always in 2-month intervals. So, and I'd have to pull my paperwork. I'm not even sure if I was signed up for September, October, August, September of this year. But I got to think about it. I was like, that's one of the faults with this insurance, because for the last 6-7 weeks, we have been in a terrible drought. Actually, the drought monitor for this week, which just came out today, but it was valid from Tuesday, but then they don't ever post it till Thursday. We're in severe drought. We're a D2 now.
Okay.
I don't know no doubt it's going to improve. I don't know if this will totally bust the drought. Maybe.
Yeah, say it might.
But it'll totally bust the insurance probably payment that you could have gotten for, which of course we don't know what it's going to do in October. But say you had insurance coverage for August, September, and really legitimately because we've suffered so much these last 2 months, you probably legitimately deserved a payment. You know, just based on what pastures look like around here. But all of a sudden you can get a huge rain like this, just one event that totally, you know,
well,
you get all this rain all at once that pushes you, because I said 10 inches just because that was easy math, but let's say you normally get 4.4 inches in August, September, and we're liable to be well over 4, you know. Maybe we normally get 5 and we're going to get 4.5 out of this rain, and which I think is a legit possibility. All of a sudden it's like, oh, y'all got normal rainfall for July and August, or August, September. Well, if you're looking at just the total for those 2 months, but it literally came in 4.5 inch rain. After it didn't rain for about 7 weeks. So that was
well, that's what's challenging.
That's just a limitation of the insurance. Insurance is not perfect. Now, on the flip side, you could only get 80% of the expected rainfall, but it comes in nice, slow, easy rains during the middle of the night when it doesn't evaporate, you know, and it's evenly spaced out, and where you're like, well, I'm fine with getting 75 or 80% of the normal rainfall if it comes at the perfect time.
Yeah. Well, that's where
sometimes it pays when it shouldn't, and sometimes it doesn't pay when it should.
Yeah. Well, that's how even on the row crop side, because I just talked to our insurance man last week. We were kind of talking back and forth about everything, and the one part that kind of stinks is a lot of guys, a lot of insurance set up on this whole farm thing, and that's just how they set up most of them. And this has gotten me in the past. I've had like one farm that would yield terrible. Like I had a farm yield 22 bushel to the acre, but I had another farm that yielded 70 bushel to the acre. And so like I really needed a payment on that 22 acre farm.
But they're going to average it out.
So that knocks it out. And that's not like a fault of my agent or anything like that. That's just that whole farm style. And I think you can do it individually, but it's like, I think it's super expensive.
From the outside looking in, I'd say you just need to quit working that one farm.
Well,
if it's legitimately always
no, normally it's a farm that cuts in the 50s.
Okay.
And it cut 22 bushels.
It just missed the rains or whatever.
It was something happened, and I think we had some chemical damage there. But it was all, because I was kind of like, I had high expectations going into this field, and then you get in there, and I'm like, ooh, and then I cut. Then
your like, other fields did too good. Yeah.
Yep. And so, that's where it's tough. And I think you can do by field to field. I think it's a lot more expensive. And I think your standard row crop guys is like 70% coverage. And I mean, I've heard of guys that go all the way up to like 85 or 90, but that is super expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you are paying out the nose on that. In a real bad year, I mean, you'd do great, but in a standard year, you'd pay a freaking fortune and not see a return. So, insurance it is what it is. So you got anything else?
Well, the only other thing I had is not really so much ag related, but this just kind of hit me earlier, and I can't be the first person that's thought of this, but of course I know you're very familiar with Steve Ranella and Meat Eater.
Yeah, I saw your story.
Okay, so you saw it. They're mostly known for. I mean, they hunt traditional animals and deer and elk and ducks and squirrels and whatever.
But he will cook and eat some weird things.
Yeah, and like I've seen the episodes where like they go to like South America and they're eating like monkeys and like some weird shit. And it just hit me tonight. I was like, holy shit, like how hilarious would it be? Which he's kind of a liberal, so I don't know that he would do it.
Well, I don't know how Steve is. I know the Field Ethos boys don't like him.
Well, even prior to them kind of calling him out, there were
Giannis is a liberal.
And they're definitely owned by, they have liberal ownership. Yeah. They're owned by like some Hollywood group.
Because they even own First Light Camo. I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Thank God the only thing I own First Light is like a single pair of gloves.
I got a shit ton of their stuff.
Oh man, you can't even wear it.
I know, when I killed my buck there, Look at that. I'm decked out in First Light gear.
Oh man,
They should have wrote me a check.
you're a liberal.
Yeah. That one, they should have gave me a check for that.
You need to tell them about how you killed it, with your longbow and whatever gay stuff.
Oh, hell, that one. First Light there, too.
That is First Light.
Both of them.
But anyway, for those of you that aren't familiar with Meat Eater, which most people are, that's a big brand, and they're cool.
They're good. They're good shows.
I like Steve. I really do. They're just
got a great voice. I love his audiobooks.
They pressed him on some political issues, and he certainly doesn't. He's not a staunch conservative.
No, he's very calculated. Yeah. And that's where, like, but
how hilarious would it be if he showed up in Springfield, Ohio, and was like, well, here with the natives of this region, I know it seems very unorthodox and uncouth to be eating cats, but he always immerses himself in the local culture.
Yes.
And he's like, we're going to enjoy a nice cat stew today.
That would be great.
Even if they did it as like a spoof, but they never would, because hell, their ownership wouldn't allow it.
No.
Oh man, because part of me is like, I don't hate. Cause I was like, look, let me be real, because I'm a meat eater. I've never eaten a cat. I've never eaten a dog.
I'd eat a cat. I'd eat a dog if I had to.
I can't. Oh, if I was going to starve to death, I don't know that I could eat my own, but yeah, if a feral one, I could probably bring myself to do it if it came to life or death. I mean, hell, you hear of people that resort to much worse than that when it's life or death. And when they're criticized for it, they say, hey, you weren't starving.
So if you were on an island and it's you and your favorite dog, brown dog, I don't know, whichever one's your favorite dog. Brown dog can't be with that name. I feel like that's not even a love name for a dog, but
oh, she's a good dog. We've had her a long time now.
So it's you and your favorite dog, and then a total random stranger, and you're just about to starve to death. There's nothing to eat, but there's going to be a boat. You know that a boat is coming, but it's going to be like 2 months out. So you got to survive until then. You finally reach the point you're starving to death. Are you going to eat the random person, or are you going to eat the dog?
So have they already died?
No. Neither of them are dead.
I'm going to have to kill one of them?
You got to kill one of them.
Man, I don't know.
You got to either be a cannibal or you got to kill your dog and eat it.
Because I've never thought of it like that. Like I actually have to kill them.
Yeah.
The one I think back to,
all right, the dude has AIDS and he dies.
I'd cook it and eat it.
All right, no, then he's not dead. You got to kill him. That just makes a whole new element.
Man, I've never thought of it like that.
Well, I haven't thought of this scenario.
The one that there was I believe it was a soccer team that their plane crashed like in the Andes Mountains of South America, and they were stranded
like a fat goalie.
They were just stranded up there, and of course a lot of people didn't survive the plane crash, but a lot of them did, and some of them ate the dead.
Yeah,
they didn't kill anybody to eat them. Well, people were like, "I can't believe y'all did that." And they were like, "You have no business criticizing what we did."
Yeah,
up there on the top of a snow-covered mountain, facing starvation. Yeah. That's where, like, if they're already dead. I mean, and I'm sitting here and I'm already kind of justifying it to myself, and I got a full belly because I just ate before I came over here.
Bobby Lee'd be like, as soon as he got on the island there, he'd be like, ooh, stomach start growling.
No, but I mean, just after hearing other people say it, I'm like, well, yeah, who am I to think I'm any different than they are?
Yeah,
at my core.
You gotta survive.
And so, man, my own dog, I mean,
so you'd kill the dude. Bobby Lee would kill the dude. He's a veterinarian. Come on. He would bash the guy over the head with a rock.
Well, you hear people say the story like there's a terrible flood and you're in a boat with your dog and you're floating past somebody who's there and needs to be rescued. There's not room for them and you and your dog in the boat. What do you do? Would you toss
Kick your dog out?
Would you toss your dog out?
Well, they can swim pretty good.
But like,
you're out in the middle of the ocean.
That ruins the whole scenario. Like, you're choosing, do I save my dog or do I save this total stranger? But this is your dog. This is not a random dog.
Yeah.
Because if it's a random dog, it's easy. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, sorry, buddy, but, human life means more than animal's life.
That's tough. Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, all right, my two dogs. Bear is 11. So his best years are behind him. I mean, I'd be kind of an ass to, like, be like, sorry, buddy, and condemn him when my dog, probably has another year under his belt, maybe. But at the same time, he's been with me 11 years. So it's like, man.
Dude, that's one situation, especially and I love all my dogs I have now, but my dog that I feel like I'll go to my grave would be the best dog I've ever had was one I lost 2 or 3 years ago. And,
Peyton?
No, and Peyton was a great dog. I don't no Peyton disrespect, but Brittany.
Oh yeah, Brittany was a great dog. Yeah,
and a lot of it with that dog, and I don't want to get totally off this sidetrack. Like, I love that dog like a kid, basically. I mean, anybody who has kids will know that's not legitimately true. Like, obviously, you can't love
you
them
love
like
the dog more.
No, but I am pretty confident nothing will ever love me as much as that dog.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that dog to her. I mean, I couldn't leave her sight, and it's more like she didn't have separation anxiety. And again, I'm getting way off track, but like that dog, like loyal. Like my wife loves me a lot. I think my kids love me a lot. I think like that dog's loyalty and love for me, nothing. But anyway, had it been her, whew, I'm probably paddling on past a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm in the same boat there with Bear.
I'm immediately like thinking of reasons not to stop. Like, they're probably a liberal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that Bear's the same way.
You know what? They could have cancer or something. Why would I?
Yeah, they're going to die anyways.
Yeah.
You know? And dude, Bear waits on me. Like, he follows me everywhere.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, even though he's old, I don't know. And then Penny, she's awesome all around, but she's so young. She's only like 7 months old. So I'm like, well, she's got her whole life ahead of her.
But you don't have near that attachment to her.
I don't have the attachment to her like I do with Bear. But I'm like, but she's got so much life left to live. So I'd probably save my dog.
Oh, that's a tough one. I heard some guys discussing that one time on a podcast. Like, what do you do?
So, all right, this brings up another one. We're going off track here, but it's all right. It's all right. People are tracking with us. So I watched a movie that I had never seen before the other day. Have you ever? Well, I know you haven't. The movie Passengers.
No.
All right, with Chris Pratt. So I like Chris Pratt. Jennifer Lawrence.
Good dude. One of the few good Hollywood dudes.
Yep, not on the Kool-Aid. Okay, so this movie brings up a very moral dilemma, and I liked it a lot for this because I was like, man, this is tough.
Well, I kind of like these. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in these situations, but it's
fun to think through. Yeah. So in this movie, I guess I'll try to contain some of the spoilers. I mean, the basic gist of the movie is pretty well understood here, but in the film, there's this ship, and it's traveling from the Earth to another planet. It's an intergalactic travel, and it's gonna.
So that means another galaxy.
No, it's just another another planet in the galaxy.
Okay.
They're gonna colonize.
Yeah. I don't know all my terminology there.
Yeah, they're gonna colonize a new planet. I guess they found one that can contain human life.
Elon Musk with them. Probably.
I'm sure it's 5,000 people on this ship.
Oh, wow. Big ship.
Big ship. It's like a cruise ship in space because, so here, what they're doing, they're traveling across space. It's going to take 130 years for them to get here. So they're all in these like hyperbaric sleep pods, and they're asleep. And they've figured out a way, like they don't age, nothing. They literally sleep for 130 years. They're going to wake up 4 months prior to arriving and be able to like, kind of, get their bearings back.
Like all like computer set where to wake up.
Yep. Everything is computer controlled.
What if the trip ends up like takes like twice as long?
Well, it does take some bad turns, but they,
I already want to see this.
Dude, it was really good. And so I won't give away anything, but what I'm going to tell you is just basic plot here. But in the film, I got to explain the ship. The 4 months when they wake up, the ship is like a cruise ship in there. It has fine dining. It's got like these robots that like feed you. It's got a bar, like bartenders that'll like talk to you, but they're like robotic.
So that's just amazing to me that they had all this stuff like set up on there where it was going to pretty much the robots were going to be, I guess, basically in hibernation mode for 129 years and 8 months.
Yeah, they're just waiting.
And then they all just like everything clicks on.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what happens because Chris wakes up And
I'm not getting on that ship.
No, me neither. Chris wakes up and everybody else, like, he sees the pods, like the people are in, and he's like looking around and he's like, all right. Well, when you wake up, you get this little rundown. It tells you like, hey, this, welcome to so-and-so ship. You've been asleep for 130 years. You'll feel a little groggy, whatever. Here's what you do and go and do all this. So he's like walking around and he's like, hello. And I mean, he's the only person awake. Nobody else is awake. So he goes to this like little command view thing and he asks it. He's like, and it's showing them the course. And he says, how long until we arrive? And it's like, you will arrive in 90 years. He woke up 30 years into the trip.
Oh.
And so he's a 40-year-old dude. And he's still got 90 years to go, and he's the only bastard awake on this ship.
So he's going to live the rest of his life all alone on this ship.
All alone on the ship. And, like, there's the little bartender dude. He can talk to him, but it's like, it's a robot.
Yeah.
But he notices Jennifer Lawrence. She's in a pod. And Chris is a mechanic. Like, all the people have jobs that they're going to go.
Right. They're not going to take just random assholes.
Yeah. But he is the low tier being a mechanic. So, like, when he gets his food, he gets, like, a plain bowl of oat. Like, he doesn't get the great stuff. Like, he's got, like, the lower tier
like
stuff.
The neurophysicist.
Yes.
You know.
They're getting, like, pancakes and everything else. Nah, Chris is eating, like, real boring shit. But he can get alcohol. And so... Dude, he stays by himself for like a year and a half, and he's gone like crazy. Like his beard is huge.
I can imagine.
Hair is long. He wears no pants. Like he just walks around with no pants on a lot of time. And
whitey tighties.
No underwear. Like you just see his like it like shows him come around the corner and he's got on a shirt and it's just his bare ass. He's just walking around.
Okay.
But
if I want to watch it anymore. Why couldn't they have had the chick in that role?
Well, you do see her ass. So there you go.
Okay.
It's made up.
Such a sexist movie.
Yeah, you do see it. But the moral dilemma comes too. He researches this Jennifer Lawrence chick and he decides that he's going to wake her up. Like he figures out that he can wake her up. And so the question is, would you wake someone up? Because if you wake them up, you're condemning them to die with you on the ship. They're never going to see the...
Well...
Because you can't go back to sleep because he tries that.
Yeah, and I mean, look, one thing, you know, we all got to realize we all die. I mean, she's going to die one day anyway. You know,
yeah.
But yeah, how much is he robbing from her?
All men die, but not all men really live.
Yeah. What's that from? I mean,
Braveheart.
Is it from Braveheart?
Yeah.
I would say that line's been used in a lot of different places, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, what's the trade-off of, yeah, you're robbing her of ever seeing that planet. Yeah, it probably is a dickhead move, but at the same time, like, he's eventually probably just going to commit suicide because you can't. I mean, he's what, like 40 years old?
Yeah.
So he's got what, another 30, 40 years on average to live, and
totally alone.
Completely alone. Like, yeah, there's no way. Like, you would totally. I mean, I'm sure he would just commit. I mean, like, what's even the point? Like, I'm basically just here, just eating the food and drinking the alcohol, and just for absolutely no purpose. I'm never going to get there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's a good. You ought to watch the movie because it's good.
Passengers.
I'll recommend it to the listeners.
I'll write that down.
I enjoyed it. Which again, I like Chris Pratt because he ain't on the Kool-Aid. All right, well, let's give them a little bit of ag here. Which they got ag early on. But we got some questions here real fast. I want to get to some of them. All right. We did that one. Here we go. Oh, hey, first off, BJ that won the giveaway, he asked me a question. I forgot to ask this. He said, how can a non-farmer or ranching family support local farms and ranches on a consistent basis? He said, yes, I could buy a T-shirt, but what practice could I adopt in my family that would directly benefit the small operation farmer and rancher?
I'm glad he asked this because I actually had a buddy just text me before I came over here. This guy I get all my pork from, which he wanted me to ask you if you needed a pig.
I don't. I'm good.
Okay.
We still got pork it's probably not any good from last time.
Okay, that's what I bought one from him right at. I think I picked it up like December 20th.
How long will it keep?
Pork does
It don't last long.
keep quite as good, I think, as beef. But I don't know the way. I mean, I've got everything I've got's been in the freezer since Christmas, basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, we ate pork chops one night this week. I've eaten bacon and sausage pretty much every morning.
See, the bacon, it's not smoked and stuff.
It's different bacon.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it's really thick.
It is thick.
It's hard to cook. But you got the bacon press.
Yeah, I use my bacon press and my cast iron. My kids don't like the bacon.
Yeah.
But I think it's just fine. I actually almost, in some ways, depending on how I'm going to eat it or what I'm going to do with it, I kind of prefer it.
Yeah.
But if anybody here locally is interested in some pork, like buying like a whole or a half hog, you reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with him.
Yeah. But that is
things like that. Like, immediately, BJ, you want some pork?
Yeah.
And it's very reasonable, like that for what you get. My Lord. And I swear we've eaten pork chops at least once a week, I think, all year. Which the pig I got last year, I was looking back at my text message from, I think it was 400 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think that's bigger than they normally get. But I was happy for it because I gave away a bunch of sausage at Christmas.
Yeah. I gave a lot of sausage and stuff away
Because I got it literally like December 20th. And so I was like, oh, okay. I had several people that, just family, friends and whatnot. I was like, I'm going to give them some sausage. And,
yeah.
And I'm not a sausage person. Like I'm a bacon, when it comes to my breakfast pork, I want bacon. I did make some little breakfast burritos this morning with sausage, but
well, that is a big thing.
I kind of struggle to get rid of the sausage versus the bacon and pork chops and everything else.
Yeah, buying as much product obviously is a big thing, and then I'll tell you one way. Now this is more probably on the row crop side, but if you have a buddy that's just a row crop farmer or whatever, and he's trying to do his thing, word of mouth, telling people that that are landowners, be like, hey man, so-and-so's a good farmer, I know, give them a shot. Or if if they're looking for hay ground or something, be like, man, this guy.
Yeah, you happen to know anybody that may have a little ground?
Yeah, that makes a big difference, just the recommendation of their farming abilities, more or less.
Well, I mean, going to the local farmer's market, knowing that you're buying, something grown right there, you're supporting somebody in your local community. I mean, we talk about it on here all the time. When I go to the grocery store, like I'm the weirdo. If there's broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to throw in the skillet tonight to have with my steak, and one's a product of USA and one's a product of Mexico. Sorry, I love our Mexican friends, but I'm going to buy the product of USA, even though it's probably only grown 10 miles apart, just barely across the border or whatever.
Yeah.
But, and that's where again, if I can go to a local farmer's market and find it, I want to buy as close to home as I can. And some of that's being a hippie and it's greener and more sustainable and all the fancy buzzwords. But yeah, I don't know. I try to buy cotton, textiles, as opposed to all the
dude. It is funny how
synthetic stuff, whenever I can. Of course,
I look at that
running
now.
and working out. Man, it's you don't want to run in cotton or whatever. I'm like, I don't know, like if it's the right kind.
Stop running.
Yeah. I do. Every time I start, I stop eventually.
Yeah, I just don't run.
But I do pay attention to that. Like, well, yeah, I'm going to support our cotton farmers rather than, this other stuff that's basically plastic. I mean, it's oil.
I wonder what this. No, this is that cruise.
That's a cotton shirt.
I'd say that's cotton.
It might be one of those like 90-10 blends or something.
Yeah,
that's cotton.
And it's made in USA, baby.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest thing and stuff like that. Just farmers markets for sure. And I love a farmers market. We've gone. Marcy and I have gone several times. We've actually gone to the one at the Agri Center some too, and it's pretty cool.
Well, did I mention on here that when we were in Montana, there at Glacier, we went into Whitefish one afternoon. We went to the farmer's market there. I bought some beef. I can't remember if we bought any pork. We bought some fresh meat at one. Bought some bread that some people have made it. Bought some coffee.
See any celebrities? They like to frequent farmers markets, apparently.
Whitefish is probably a little
Did you
more.
see Steven Ranella?
No, we flew into Bozeman, but then we were north up there. The Whitefish area, it's kind of a ski town. During the wintertime, I wouldn't be shocked if you ran into like a B-list celebrity.
Yeah, like Jim Carrey. Brad Pitt.
He'd be an A-lister. Yeah. I was gonna say Brad would for sure.
No, Jim definitely is an A-lister.
Whitefish is a cool little town. Only time I've ever been there, but had a really neat little farmer's market. Yeah, we bought some. I don't remember what all we bought.
I was looking at a beach. I'm taking our 10-year anniversaries next year.
Yeah.
Me and Marcy, and I was wanting to take her to some cool beach, but probably going to go broke on the farm this year, so I'm not going to be able to do that, I don't think. But if we don't.
My brother just got back from Antigua for his 10 years.
Well, see, I'm so American, I'm staying in the U.S.
That's what, well, a lot of people point that out. Like Europeans make fun of Americans because we don't get out, travel abroad. Like, buddy,
we don't need to.
The state of Texas is bigger than Europe,
and it has
I
more.
think that's exactly true.
It has every geography in it.
Yeah, literally, you could not leave. That's my whole thing. Because my parents like to go to Aruba, and I'm like, I hadn't been, and I like to travel both internationally and domestically, but there's so many places in the U.S. I still hadn't even.
That's
been.
how I am.
I think for my 10 year, we went to the Peabody.
There you go. Hey, that's even better.
There or Tunica.
Yeah, that's even better. Well,
Tunica, Mississippi is an excellent place to spend an anniversary.
I was looking.
Go to the Horseshoe.
I was actually looking at the land of fruits and nuts is where I think we're going to go.
Oh, really?
California.
Dude, that is way more international than going to the Dominican Republic.
They got a killer beach and it scratches 2 itches here. I'm like, all right, we can go here because I'm the movie buff. I love movies. So I can kind of go and nerd out and kind of see some of the settings for movies. That's why I liked New York so much. When we went to New York City for our honeymoon, I was like, hey, that's where Ghostbusters, that's where the damn big marshmallow man was. I was nerding out on that stuff. And Vegas the same way. When I travel, I typically am like, that's where this was filmed. I'm that nerd. And so the part of California that I'm going to go to or want to take her to is one of the top beaches in the country. And it's got all the beach element that she wants. I hate the beach. I don't like the beach. So
I don't hate it, but I'm just like, you've been to the beach once, you've been to the beach.
Well, that's how I am. It's boring.
And if you've been to one beach, there's subtle differences, but for the most part, it's all
it's a beach.
Mostly
sand and water.
Sand and waves,
But the water's supposed to be real pretty. So we were going, that's the plan. I don't even remember where I was going with that. How did I even get on that?
I don't know.
I don't remember either. Oh, no, I do remember. When I was looking up this place, I was kind of seeing what was near there, and there's a huge farmer's market right there.
Oh, yeah.
California, look, I hate on California all the time, but that is a huge ag state. They have a ton of produce. A lot comes out of there. And so they got this big farmer's market right in the area. And it was and this is a frequent hotspot of celebrities. So apparently our movie star weirdos do support the local farmers.
They're organic, non-GMO.
Yes. Pay 7 times the price, but hey, they're supporting.
I would dare say probably the upper tier A-listers, their personal chef
is buying it. Yeah.
You don't even recognize that dude, but he's about to go home and cook dinner for Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. Yep.
But
well, yeah. Well, that's there you go. That's what to do. I want to get let's get a couple of questions.
Every year I have plans for us to go out of town for our anniversary, and this year was a great example. I didn't have it booked, but I had it all planned out. We were going to go to New Mexico. We were going to watch horse racing because that's my wife. That's her thing, and being in the mountains. She's like, we just put in the pool. I need to do a bunch of landscaping. How about we just stay home and work on that?
That sounds like a good idea.
All right.
You know what I wish I could, because my anniversary is January 9th. SHOT Show is January 20th. That's what I need to do. I've been able to go, and that'd be a good anniversary gift.
My rules for when we got married was all right, can't be on a football weekend. And then I was like, well, and I would kind of like to avoid hunting season. So we got married into May. And that was great. But now that's always when I'm really needing to get my first cut in the hay done.
Yeah. So you got to,
And that's actually because I had taken off that whole week this year for our anniversary. We're going to go out of town. And then whenever she was like, no, we're not going anywhere, I literally was on tractor all 5 days that week between cutting and getting everything raked and baled.
Jeez. Yep. Life of a farmer. All right, here we go. I want to get at least one of these emails in. This is from Ben Barry.
Ben Barry.
Logan and Bobby Lee, my name's Ben Barry from a little town in central Mississippi. I identify as he, him, and attracted to she, her. Ha ha, now that we have the pronouns out of the way, I was listening to y'all's podcast with William Lee this morning. Lots of good discussion that I could relate to came up and figured I'd drop y'all a comment. I download and listen to y'all's podcast when I work in my chicken houses because I don't have service inside the buildings. A lot of the discussion on diversity I can relate to. I farmed with my father-in-law for the past 7 years. He has 4 chicken houses and I have 3 and I'm in the process of building 2 more. Nice. We also run cattle and do a little row crop and sweet corn. We row crop together and usually have 120 acres of corn and about the same on soybeans. He has about 100 mama cows and I have about 70. We take the yearling. They got a lot going on.
Yeah, they stay busy.
We take the yearling from them and buy a few straight from the farm from another guy and graze them through the winter on ryegrass planted on the row crop ground that gets fertilized from our chicken litter. It has worked well for us. Not rich by any means, but the whole operation supports itself in some kind of way. Feel free to reach out if you'd like to hear any more about how we do things, from strip till practices and how we farm with 30-plus-year-old equipment. LOL. Love the podcast. Keep up the good work. Man, that's cool, man. You got a lot.
Yeah, that sounds like they got a good
blend, diversity.
System. Well, and how kind of everything, the chicken houses make the litter that they put on the crop ground where they've got the rye. Where they got the cows that are then put manure also back out there.
That's the way to do it.
And they got the cow-calf herd that's supplying, the animals to graze on the rye. Yeah. I mean, that's, they're going to be making a little money on the chickens, but then getting the free fertilizer. And
then getting a little extra from the cattle grazing out there. They'll be crapping and peeing.
Selling a little sweet corn for a little summertime beer money.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you guys, this is the way, the diversity. That's how I'm wanting to get mine. I'm trying to just diversify more and more.
He'd be a good one to have on because we haven't ever talked to anybody that's been in the chicken world because
you hate them.
No. I actually ate some chicken tonight. And some venison. I had to get my red meat in, but the whole thing you hear about them, then the thing that's tough, and I would like to hear it directly from one of them. Is, they don't own the chickens, and they're a contract grower for a group, and if nothing to guarantee that they don't just all of a sudden say, well, yeah, we just don't want to feed chickens next year. And then all of a sudden you've got all this infrastructure built up and tons of money invested. And I don't, again. So we need to have him on. We hadn't had a guest in a little while.
No, we have one. We have one coming on next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys heard it here with me.
Yep. Donald Trump.
Hey,
we're going to talk about eating some cats. Not the kind you're thinking. No.
I saw a guy, kind of a comedian on Twitter, and it took me a second to even get it. He's like, the most amazing thing out of the whole debate. It's like, I could not believe Donald Trump had an issue with people eating pussy. And I was like, because I'll be honest, I did not watch the debate at all. I was like, what? Trump had it?
Yeah, I'm like, man, no way that dude has a problem with that. Yeah.
Well, I'm like, what is he even talking about? Like, there's no way that went on. And then I was like, okay, I got it.
The cats. Yep. Well, yeah. Ben, I'll reach out to you, man. That would be a good one. That would definitely be a good one. But we do have somebody coming on next week. I won't reveal anything yet.
We really do.
We really do.
It's one of the Trumps, just not Donald.
That's right. It's what's his wife's name?
Not Don Senior.
Ivanka.
No, Melania.
I
think Ivanka just died, didn't she?
What?
His previous wife.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of his daughter. Yes, Melania.
Eric and Don Jr. And
Melania's
I think the daughter. I think 3 of his kids were by her. I'm pretty sure she passed away just real recently.
Dang. All right, I got to read this
All
question.
All kinds of sad, somber news tonight.
That is, yeah. Well, this will make you feel good. This email opens up with a good, encouraging statement directed to you.
Hold on. Ivanka's his daughter's name.
Well, that's what okay, so what's his... Ivana. Ivana humps a lot. If you remember that from... Do you remember that from Austin Powers?
I was like, where is that from?
Ivana hump a lot, and then a lot of vagina, or something was the other one. Which I remember as a kid watching.
It was so Ivana Trump was
his mother.
She actually passed away. This says in 2022. Man, this time
Dang, you way out, man.
It's only 2 years ago.
You know, when I was a kid, I remember, now you got me thinking, me and Dad would watch 007 all the time together. He loved all the Sean Connerys, and we'd watch all them. And I can remember, like, they'd introduce some of the women on there, and I'd be like, what's her name? And Dad'd be like, that's Pussy Galore.
I was right, though. That is Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric's mom.
Gotcha.
Her name's Ivana. She's from Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia.
Yeah. See, Trump.
Which that makes sense. Like, it couldn't have been this summer because this summer is literally just now.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have guessed that it was 2 summers ago. Wow.
Me neither. Well, here you go. Speaking of women, how come Bobby Lee's wife is so damn hot? This comes from Matt. Matt says, how come Bobby Lee's wife is so damn hot? I always thought Bobby Lee was a good looking dude. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. That's not where it is. I always thought Bobby Lee was a good looking dude, but now I'm thinking he's the Ryan Gosling of Tennessee, and he put like a salute to you on there.
Hey, I mean, you know, I won't lie. Her looks are what got my attention when I first met her.
And he said, when you sling a hammer, you can pull the ladies, man. You can hit big nails. So he says, the way I'm trying to survive these low commodity prices.
So did he say any of that?
He did say that.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, how come Bobby Lee's wife's so damn hot? I always thought Bobby Lee was a good looking dude.
Hey, yeah, I'm going to have to make her listen to this episode.
Yeah. The way I'm trying to survive these low commodity prices is I'm not growing corn next year. I'm going to plant triticale in the fall, harvest it in May, and then hopefully have teff grass planted by the 1st of June. The seed is actually cheaper, even though you're planting 2 crops. You really only have to focus on nitrogen. You don't even have to go over 150 units for the year if you don't want to. On the other hand, it will be more of a pain in the ass because once you get corn planted, you don't really do that much with it until harvest. You'll get 2 cuttings of teff and 1 of trit. Plus,
that's what I was going to ask. What's it going to do with it? So they're going to make hay out of all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, you have to be on it when it comes to irrigating the teff because it's starting to get hot and you're trying to establish a crop.
Where is he?
I don't know. He didn't say unless he says on here. Because that's what I was thinking. We've never irrigated, and you planted triticale before.
I planted teff one time too.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just hell, what 90? What percentage of our acres around here are dry land?
Oh man, the very vast majority.
100% of hay acres is any kind of forage. Like there's zero like hay or pasture that's irrigated.
Hell, 90% of our cropland is probably
very little of our row crop land is. So I don't know. They must be somewhere a little more arid than we are. But
he said, so trit teff will be a more work than corn, but I'm afraid my broke ass has no other options. I know the feeling.
And I don't. Again, it goes back to where they are. They may have a big dairy presence. I know. When I was kind of researching triticale, because I'd never heard of it, which it's like a cereal rye wheat hybrid. I think. It's a grass crop.
It's got a stalk on it there.
Yeah. But yeah, it makes a lot of biomass. And I was watching YouTube videos. A lot of people would chop it for silage.
Yeah.
Or haylage. I don't know how good a dry hay it makes. Which who knows? They may be going to wrap it and bale it wet. Especially that's really popular with dairies and I guess feedlots and whatnot. But it can be fed to just mama cows too.
Yeah.
Yeah, teff. We had I had pretty decent luck with teff. I got a heck of a stand of it. I just broadcast it. I spread it actually with my side by side and my little herd seeder.
Yeah.
I mean, rain hit it just right. We because it's an annual, because I was wanting it to graze, which he had already said they're going to cut it. But of course, like a lot of annuals, it doesn't put down a real deep root because it's it ain't here for a long time. It's here for a good time kind of thing. They're like, if you just graze it, a lot of your animals will pull it up. So I cut it for hay the first time, but I didn't have any hay equipment at that time. I had to wait on our dad's. And the problem was row crop was their priority.
Yeah.
And then their hay.
Yeah.
And then there was Bobby Lee experimenting with this grass they'd never even heard of.
It's weird, Triticale, yeah.
It was the teff.
Oh, the teff, yeah.
Yeah, the Triticale, it was in a winter mix that it was like a cover crop mix, basically, I put out. So
you weren't high on the list.
We cut it like a month after it should have been cut. It was so damn over mature. I remember, I think my 20 acres made like 80 rolls. And that was the big rolls. Like they were rolling it for me.
Yeah.
It was so damn tough and over mature. Those cows finally ate that stuff. But no, I think it would make really good hay. And then I grazed it after that cutting. So
well, he said here, he said he's got 4 other crops. He said there's sugar beets, peas, radish seed, and alfalfa. And then
I'd love to know, right back into us and tell us where you are.
Yeah, well, okay, here he is. He's in Eastern Oregon.
There we go.
Yeah.
We go. Just right down the road from us.
That's just cool. That's fucking cool. We're here in West Tennessee. Pardon my French, folks. But we're all the way over here in West Tennessee. We got some cool people tuning in Oregon. He said, I think I can net 200 an acre with Trit teff. 200 is all we figure we net on corn here in Eastern Oregon. My cost will be $200 to $300 cheaper to grow Trit and teff. So that's cool, man. It's just still cool.
Hey, shout out to Oregon. Which I don't know if you consider it Eastern Oregon or not, but it's mostly Eastern. Pendleton Stampede's going on right now.
Okay.
That's a rodeo, because I'm a big rodeo fan. That's one that's kind of on my bucket list. That's a neat one.
Is that the Pendleton whiskey?
Yeah,
sponsors them?
Letterbuck. Pendleton's a big sponsor of the Pendleton Stampede.
I've never drank that.
It's not super easy to find around here. I've had, I think, 1 bottle, but it's real neat. Like out there, they have a huge arena.
Yeah.
I mean, it's massive. Like it's a racetrack. And so for a lot of the rough stock events, I noticed for the bull riding, because again, this arena is massive.
Yeah.
So they put up this very, very temporary fence with PVC pipe. And it's hilarious because like if the bulls even like touch it, it just like flies apart.
And these are like bucking bulls. So these are some bad dudes.
It's more there because like of course these bulls are used to bucking in arenas.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna run up and hit the fence. They're smarter than that. But every now and then one of them will do it, and then he can just, which of course they got to pick up men out there that rope them. But
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
kind
of a bucket list rodeo. But of course it's middle of September. I'm like, probably after I get my kids out of the house, because can't really go anywhere with the kids this time of year because they're in school.
Well, what
that damn thing called school.
What did you want him to write into you?
Where he was from.
Okay, gotcha.
But now we know.
Gotcha.
Now we know.
Well, let us know how it goes, man. I'm genuinely intrigued.
Yeah, I love those ideas. Like
thinking outside the box is.
That year I planted teff. I believe it was the first year we decided not to row crop my ground.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I just need to get it in some kind of annual, because I felt like it was too late to get it in a good perennial. And I knew if I did a perennial, I wanted to do a cool season fescue orchard clover mix. So we're like, all right, I need a warm season annual to put in. And I think my dad actually found it's like teff. And I was like, teff? It's like, for those of you that it's like teff, just like Jeff, but with a T. T-E-F-F. I think it's native to Ethiopia.
Yeah.
It's a very small grain. Like actually some places they harvest the grain off of it.
Oh, wow.
It makes like a tiny, you almost wouldn't even think of it as a seed head. It's just
so tiny.
Yeah. Anyway.
My name is Jeff is what I was thinking.
I don't even know what that's from.
21 Jump Street, I'm pretty sure.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, but it's like, but I guess in this case it'd be, my name is Teff. He's supposed to be like Spanish.
Yeah.
That's my Spanish impersonation. Yeah. No, dude, the more, hell, we said earlier, more niche and kind of just the obscure stuff. Dude, that's like around here. If I drive around, I can drive around. All of my row crop field is soybeans this year. You're going to see corn, soybeans, cotton. If I drove around and I saw something, like if you see an obscure thing, it catches your eye. You're like, whoa.
Like every now and then you'll see, I guess when prices market dictate, you'll see a little Milo around here. But heck, I hadn't seen any.
We hadn't done that in a long time.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw
Frankie was still alive. when we did Milo the last time.
Oh yeah, because every now and then, every now and then it kind of gets to be a bigger thing around here. I think that year there was like a huge basis on it.
Yeah, it was
everybody locked in their basis.
It was like an 89-cent basis or more.
Yeah.
And it was a great crop. It'll grow anywhere. Puts a ton of organic matter back in the ground.
Real drought tolerant. I noticed you see a lot of guys that are kind of a little further west, up like Kansas, and those areas a little more drought prone.
Oh, dude, it's a little
more common.
You could put that anywhere and it'll make a good crop.
It
eats you to death.
Which one thing I need to talk to you about more off air. I'm gonna be out of town here in about 3 weeks. Yeah, and driving out west, I'll be interested to see what all. Of course, you see a lot of sunflowers actually planted in some places out there. And I don't know, of course, sunflowers planted around here is for shooting doves.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be interested to find out like why sunflowers are grown in some of those environments. Is it just because they can't grow anything else, or do sunflowers?
I don't know. I'd be curious.
Particularly well, but you'll see fields that are just hundreds of acres of sunflowers.
Yeah.
But you see some milo. Of course, you still see just corn and soybeans,
but the obscure stuff's cool. It is.
Yeah. Well, you're right, because like around here, it's like, corn, soybeans, and cotton. Like
I can ride around and see that.
Like those are the only 3 crops you're going to see in a field right now.
It is.
Literally, how far would you have to drive to see another major row crop?
Oh man, you'd have to drive. Yeah, you'd have to drive at least probably 2 counties, 3 counties, probably 3 counties over, maybe even more than that.
To get to what?
To seeing. Well, honestly, the only big difference you'd see is more cattle presence.
I'm saying, what would be the next row crop that you would run into somewhere?
Well, I mean, rice. You could get into some rice.
Yeah, you're right about that.
In the Arkansas area, but
peanuts, I guess, same thing.
Yeah. If you go to Georgia, you get into big peanut country over there. But
I think there's a few folks that are growing peanuts around here.
Yeah, there was actually somebody on the farm that we called stogies. We worked for a little while, and actually we're looking at buying. They planted peanuts on it like 1 year.
I've seen them, I think, like over in the Boot Hill, Missouri, because after peanuts, a lot of people will roll the peanut hay.
Yeah.
And every now and then I see some people trying to, sell some peanut hay. But you're right. Yeah, rice is the obvious one.
Yeah, rice is definitely,
You're across the river. No rice immediately here, but you get over into Arkansas and the Delta, yeah.
Yep.
And I guess even in Mississippi. But
yeah. But it is, I actually even appreciate, I'm a row crop guy, but I really appreciate when I ride up on a good, nice cattle pasture and I see a pasture with some cows out there. And I'm like, man, look at that. Them cows, they're killing us, killing the environment. It's so green.
Look at all the people out here just choking on
all this methane these bastards are pumping into the air, farting their butts off out there. No, I love seeing some cattle. And that's one of the, I'm not going to get on the rabbit hole again tonight, but that is one of the things I love about the like regenerative aspect is you introduce the livestock into the mix and have all of it in there. That's what that guy, Ben, I do want to talk to him because that's what's pretty cool. They're doing row crop, chickens, cattle, and like it's all a part of the cycle. And I just like that. I think it's cool. So, we got several more emails, but we are at the time. So for those of you that have emailed us, don't give up on us. We will get to your questions, I promise. If you emailed them, if you wrote them somewhere else, there's a chance I won't get to them because I may not see them or catch them. If you message us on Facebook, it's usually by the grace of God that I respond. I'm terrible at responding to messages on Facebook. So go to talkdirtpodcast.com, contact page, submit your questions on there. If you want to tell us how dashingly handsome we are or ask us a question, tell us you hate us.
Tell me how hot my wife is.
Yeah, if you want to talk about how hot Bobby Lee's wife is, that he's the Ryan Gosling of Tipton County.
This tells me Logan's not putting enough pictures of his wife on the internet.
Yeah, I need to
I put one video on YouTube of my wife in a bikini, and all of a sudden
you get that and angry old women.
Anybody who damn good and well while I put that video out there
for the farming content.
I knew that I was like, all right, my wife in a bikini and a thumbnail of this video, it'll get clicks.
It did well too, didn't it?
Yeah. My YouTube audience, y'all are simple beings, and I know that because I'm right there with you.
Agreed.
I can't tell you how many times I've clicked on a YouTube video.
The thumbnail catches your eye.
It'll be like a fishing video, but it's a chick in a bikini, and I'm like, wow, I've always been interested in it. And,
Bass fishing techniques. That's right.
I hadn't fished in years.
Yeah.
This will get me right back in the mood.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, do that. And you want to cue the man up?
The man,
He's been like, did you see he put on a Trump hat?
Oh my God. I was like, and he legitimately knew it was a Trump hat.
He did. Yeah. He's like, give me that hat.
Like he was not like duped into doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the same little rally, but there was a guy who had on a shirt. It said dumb and dumber. And then you couldn't really tell. It may have said dumber, and it was Pelosi, Biden, and
Kamala. That's
and
great.
He made a comment. He's like, well, I guess I'm dumber.
Yeah. Well, that might be the most coherent he's been.
But it's just, it blows my mind that everywhere you go, like Trump has a rally, there's 40,000 people there, like just screaming his name, women throwing their panties at him.
Yeah.
Like just, Kamala has a rally, and it's like, literally like they're like having to Photoshop pictures to make it look
Obama says we're obsessed over crowd size. That's what he said.
I mean, I think last time I checked, living, breathing human beings that are citizens are what vote.
Well, they don't quite worry about the breathing aspect, living and breathing.
Or even being an actual person that ever existed. I mean, it's just a number to them. And then like, what was even the reference there?
What are you talking about?
Well, we were talking about the Trump and, oh Lord, how'd I get off?
Well, Obama talking about the crowd size, but I mean, with Joe Biden just.
Oh yeah, that's my thing. Like anywhere Biden goes, like literally he put on that Trump hat in the crowd. There was one like a huge crowd, like roared. I'm like, all right, 80% of the people there were Trump, if not more. Like clearly. And like you see these things, you don't ever see at a Trump rally, like somebody being like them booing him and like it being like and again, we live in an area that is extremely conservative, and so you can't hardly judge it. But like, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've seen a single Kamala sign anywhere. I wouldn't even know what a Kamala wall sign looks like what their basic design is.
Yeah.
The Trump stuff, which Trump is, it's a weird thing where he like transcends, and like, hell, there were Trump flags flying, for the last 4 years, even when he hadn't been president. But I don't know, I have a hard time wrapping my mind around the possibility that she could even come close to beating him. Yeah. But yet, everything tells us, man, it's going to be
neck and
right
neck.
down to the wire. And I'll tell you, my feeling is we could see the same thing we saw in 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
I am personally convinced that if she's not winning legitimately, they'll do just like they did last time.
That's where I'm at.
We're going to go to bed on that Tuesday night thinking, all right, Trump's got it.
Yep.
We're going to wake up and it's going to be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like they miraculously found, 250,000 more votes in Pennsylvania. And oh my God, Michigan that we had called for Trump at 10 p.m. Actually, Kamala's going to win it by a narrow margin of 2,000 votes.
Yeah.
Like, and just shit like that. And you're just going to be like, are you kidding me?
No, I do believe that. And that's where we did have somebody that had messaged me, said he couldn't wait to hear our debate thoughts. And Bobby Lee said earlier he didn't watch. I didn't watch.
We had a coach pitch game that night. I didn't watch a second of it.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't want to watch a second of it.
Seeing that was me. I actually had no plans to watch it.
I don't know that anybody who turned on that debate was watching it saying like, let me figure out who I'm going to vote for.
That's my question. I'm like, how many people actually watch it? Because most of the people I know that watch the debates, I feel like you're either like, all right, I'm already on Trump's side or I'm on Kamala's side.
You're like me watching a football game. It's not me thinking,
I want to see my side win.
I'm not watching it saying, let's see who's going to win this game. It's like, hell no, let's go Vols. Let's win this thing. Let's crush their skulls.
I'll tell you what I gathered. I've watched a lot of clips and I've watched different things from it, and I did gather that it was Trump versus 3.
I don't think there was any doubt about that. Yeah, I mean,
they fact checked the hell out of Trump, and then now
there's apparently an ABC whistleblower that's going to come forward.
Yeah, he's going to mysteriously kill himself probably tonight
before he has a chance to legitimize his comments.
Yeah, he's going to have
apparently giving her all the questions that they were going to ask her beforehand, which that's always been a thing where they would do that for their preferred candidate. But then they had also told her, they're like, look, we're going to fact check pretty much everything he says.
And nothing of what you say.
Which I can't believe, which I didn't watch it, so maybe they did. But they wouldn't be like, all right, at some point we've got to fact check you just to make it look
from
non-biased.
all the things I've seen, they don't.
We'll fact check you just on you getting like a date wrong or something.
Yeah.
Totally benign that doesn't even matter.
Dude, did you watch many clips from it?
I've seen just the ones that have circulated on social media, and of course the ones about her being a gun owner, and I do not support. And it's like, no, like there's numerous times for her being like, no, I support not just a buyback, but a mandatory buyback.
Yeah,
I want to ban fracking, and it's just like, no.
I love how firmly she lies. She was like, that is a lie, and you know it.
I think it's easy for her because I don't think she has any beliefs.
Yeah,
I think literally
she's a pawn.
Right. If her advisors came to her tomorrow like, Kamala, change of policy. Our polling tells us for you to get elected, you need to be pro-gun and pro-life.
And then she pops their wiener out of her mouth and she says, you're right. I'm on board.
She would say, okay. Yeah. She would have zero trouble going up to the microphone and saying, I'm now 100% pro-gun. The NRA is 100% behind me. I'm going to go full libertarian. We're going to strike. We're actually going to eliminate all gun laws. If the powers that be behind her told her that that's what she needed to do, and that's what she needed to do to get elected, she would 100% do it.
I do too. Oh, I totally believe that.
She is 100% a puppet for the people that are pulling the strings.
Yep.
And that's really the reason I like Trump, is because I don't think anybody controls Trump but Trump.
No, and sometimes to a demise.
And I don't even know that he has that much self-control some days.
No.
But hey, I can
you know where he stands.
That. Yeah.
That's the thing with me. I'm like, hey, I know where he stands.
All right, that's a long way about of us getting to our man.
Well, I was trying to find a funny meme about them.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
Do you have a company?
No.
I got a list.
No, I don't. I thought I was thinking of one.
It's helping me catch up on mine that I got behind on. So you got the meme you want to share first, or
no? You go ahead. I'm looking.
So I am going to do not a huge company, kind of another one like last week where anybody could afford to do business with them. But Little Giant chicken feeders.
Oh yeah, I got some of those.
I would say probably.
I actually have my honey extractors a Little Giant.
Okay, well, I just happened to notice one day as I was, of course, feeding my chickens.
Yep.
I was like, holy crap, made in America.
Yeah, I forgot about them because, that's what my honey extractor, and it's like aluminum or something, really well built, and it's Little Giant. Got the dude flexing on the side or something.
Yeah, they make a lot of smaller, farm products like that.
Yeah.
Little Giant. It's actually, as I'm looking through,
I didn't realize they were American made. That's cool.
Miller Manufacturing Company. And as I'm sitting here doing them, I'm like, have we not ever done them before?
That does surprise me.
So if we have done them before, well, they get a double shout out.
I don't think we have, but yeah, like I said, that's fine. Well, I'm looking. This is driving me crazy. There was a hilarious meme somebody made of Trump picking the song for Kamala Harris.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Well, as they were going through that, I didn't know where they were going to go with it, and there's been several things came out this week. One was a previous interview where she was with Willie Brown, and there's the person trying to remember. They're like, "Are you his daughter?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, I'm not his daughter."
Yeah.
And then there was what was the other one?
I shared that one on my story of where they come up and ask if she's his daughter.
Oh, there was a thing today. I just saw it tonight. I don't know if it happened today or what, but Tim Walz is giving a talk. He's campaigning, and he says she was a prosecutor, and he calls her a prostitute. And they're like, that's the greatest
pretty accurate
Freudian slip of all time. So look, some people can say like, oh, we're like, no, like it's legitimately known. Like
she slept her way there. I mean, that is
like the whole adage of sleeping your way to the top. Like, oh, people use that as a way to insult women that they think, get to positions they shouldn't be in. Like, well, I mean, this is legitimately a time where like, no,
that applies.
She was porking a married man who was in a position of power, who gave her a job, who pretty much got her start in politics. Like, no, like, and then she accomplished basically nothing other than incarcerating an enormous number of black men for petty
drugs,
crimes,
wasn't like weed,
marijuana, then laughing about the fact that she, even once she was ordered to release them, wouldn't release them.
Yep.
And that was pretty much how Tulsi Gabbard,
slaughtered her.
Yeah. Drove a stake through her heart during that primary debate. Which at that point she was getting like 1% anyway. And then miraculously she rises from the ashes.
Now she's so popular and so great.
Because she's a woman of color, she gets to be vice president. Well then, hell, because Biden has to drop out because he does so bad in the debate, she literally gets 0 votes in any primary, and all of a sudden, she's your vice president. And now the media is going to tell you that she is the savior of our country.
Democracy, damn it. That's what this is.
Yeah, she's still yet to ever receive a legitimate vote in any kind of national primary, anything.
Yeah.
Like these votes that she gets as president.
That'll be the first vote
she's going to get
had.
a bunch. Well, I mean, I guess she won a Senate seat, but again, she was
that's true.
handpicked to get there by, Willie Brown was a kingmaker, and she was
wiener picked.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Which in a way I say, don't hate the player, hate the game. She knew the game, she played it, but I mean, it's also legitimate for us to point out that, okay, well, that's the game she played to get there. Like, let's not pretend that she got there because her policies and her record and her, political acumen and whatever, was something to stand on.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All right, guys.
Enough politics for tonight.
A couple of things you need to do. You need to visit agzaga.com, get your gear, get you some automatic fuel nozzles on there. That's what I like. Get you some of those on there. Get you some of them copperhead boxers for your wiener. And then
speaking of fuel, the commodity jugs, not necessarily to put fuel in.
Yeah, that's right.
They will work for that.
I'm just going to be honest. I make a hell of a mess with them damn things.
More so than with the old ones?
Hell yeah. I get gas all over my hands, on the ground, on my damn pants.
Then you do with the government mandated ones?
Yes. To the point where I was ready to throw that thing in the woods.
Oh man, I love the commodity jugs.
Now, it depends on what I'm putting fuel in. Now, my side-by-side, the thing is up high. I can stick the nozzle in. It's great. But this was like a little pressure washer, and it's low to the ground. So I had the jug full. And so...
that's user error, man.
And the nozzle, if they let me have the flex nozzle...
Well, that's what I've got on mine.
See, mine has it's like a clear hose.
Well, that's what mine has.
But see, it'll pinch, and it'll kink.
Well, then where was the fuel coming out?
Out of the damn breather line.
Well, you just got to get it up higher.
I'm in an awkward position.
You're this muscle-bound dude that works out all the time. You can't pick up 5 gallons of gas.
I'm in an awkward position it needs another handle.
All right. From what I've gathered from this, Logan needs to hit the weight room.
It was awkward. I wish it had a handle down on the side. I don't like the up high handle.
Well, then they'd have to call it a fuel jug, and then they'd have to put a nozzle on it.
Why's the handle on the side got to make it a fuel jug?
I don't know, because the government.
I use it. They
literally found a loophole to be able to manufacture these things without having the government goofy ass nozzle. I guarantee you, those government nozzles, no, because I still have 2 of those jugs.
Oh, I hate those.
I have two of the old fashioned, like, goofy ass government. You got to push the button, whatever.
Yep.
And then I got my 2 commodity jugs that I got from Magzaga. And I know I make a way bigger mess with my
government
my
jugs.
old ones, yeah.
Man, I make a mess with both of them equally, but only the commodity jug if it's something low. When it gets about half full, where I can because I also tilt it too quickly.
Pretty much my side by side, my lawnmower are like 99% of what I'm putting in gas.
Oh man, see, I've had to put it in like a weed eater and down and it'll be like on the ground.
And I'll usually transfer it because I got like a little 1 gallon weed eater. Then I put my 2-stroke gas in.
So you're manipulating the system here.
Well, and then once I put it in a little 1 gallon, it is a government jug.
Yeah.
But it's easy putting gas in a weed eater. I mean, it takes like 8 ounces. That and the chainsaw, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, the last time I used it, I was putting gas in a pressure washer. I got gas all over me. Like, it was on my hands. It was on my pants leg, on my shoes.
Well, listen.
I was ready to take a match and just light it and throw it inside this thing.
If you think you're more talented than Logan and can use a commodity jug, Magzaga has them.
I still use it. It's what I keep on my truck. I use it.
I swear it's still better than that.
I use it out of rebellion at this point. Like, I'm just going to use
it's
the
a middle
thing.
finger to the government. But,
it is.
But yeah, check them out. All the good things, including the Bell Net wrap. Again, I know we always hit on that one, but that is their bread and butter. You won't beat their deals on that.
Yep. And like I said, use the word talk dirt, all caps, all one word. Hey, before I end this, I got an idea of a next challenge for ratings, because this goes in with our last one. Now, you like spicy foods?
Yeah.
Pretty spicy.
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but my A1C's up again. I just found out this week. So
you need spicy.
Well, my whole diet has changed. Hell, I'm just basically, I'm not 100% carnivore, but I've had to bread, pasta.
Really? Even after you've been on the low carb thing still?
So, long story short, when I turned 40 a year ago, my A1C was high.
Yeah.
I went pretty hardcore, like keto, till January, got it rechecked. It was normal. So since then, I'd been like, I watched what I eat, but I wasn't really doing keto. Like, I would still eat. Like, my wife cooked pasta for dinner, I would eat it. You know, we went out to eat at a burger place, I'd eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
But I wasn't eating a ton of sweets. I thought I was eating good, but not perfect. And hell, my yearly check this summer.
Pre-diabetic again?
Yep. So I was like, all right, like, screw that shit. I ain't gonna be diabetic. So, I mean, we'll see how long I can stick to it. But yeah. So my whole diet this week, like, I've been.
So can you eat spicy stuff?
Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't have carbs.
Well, it ain't got carbs. It's a pepper.
Oh yeah. I can do that.
So what I'm thinking.
I was thinking like a Indian curry, and I'm like, I don't even really know they put like flour in that. Like,
no, I'm thinking a ghost pepper.
Like, you gotta watch like sauces and gravies and stuff because they have a ton of flour.
No, I've got ghost peppers that are ready.
See, I like spicy. I don't like stupid spicy.
All right, well then this is what we got to do. This is the challenge.
All right.
I got ghost peppers that are ready, and they look like pure death. Like, they look horrifying. Like, I mean, they're like a.
See, I'm not. I'm a little older than you. I'm not really looking forward to like just making myself suffer.
I'm not either. But it's something about it. I have like become obsessed with peppers. They grow great. Like, I can grow the hell out of peppers. And jalapenos, like, I've gotten a lot of times now, I just cut up a fresh jalapeno and I'll eat it with dinner. But like, I got a lot of habaneros.
Well, jalapeno is one thing.
Yeah. But no, this ghost pepper. Oh yeah, man. Jalapeno, it's like a 2,500 on the Schofield chart. Ghost pepper's like 1,000,000. And so.
Holy shit.
So here's what I
like jalapenos like on my nachos, which hell, I can't eat corn chips no more. But
you can eat a ghost pepper.
Yeah, but
now,
I'm
just saying, if we can get, I need to look and see where we're at. We're at like.
Where's like a habanero on that?
On the Schofields? Let me see.
Because I grew some habaneros one year, and I was kind of the same way. Like, my garden always sucked, but apparently the habaneros did good. maybe all peppers do good, like in poor soil.
They do great.
I was like, oh, so I guess that's why. No shade to our Mexican brethren, but
A habanero.
I assume they've got poorer soils in a lot of Mexico. Maybe that's why they grow good peppers.
Habanero is around 200,000. A ghost pepper is around 1 million.
So it's 5 times out of habanero. I don't think I want anything to do with that.
Oh man, come on, we got to do it.
Like
It'd be just a little piece. I ain't about to eat the whole thing. Just cut a little sliver off.
That apparently has gotten to be a thing with like teenage boys, where like they sell like these
peppers?
chips.
Oh
like
yeah, I've seen those.
Hot,
Yeah,
it's like you literally buy like a single chip, but it's like so hot, like
you like vomit after you eat it.
I'm like, that sounds like a really good idea. Like, said no one ever.
Well, look, I was looking here. See, the Carolina Reaper outdoes the Ghost, but the Ghost is like 1 million. But actually, now I feel even better.
So go on to the challenge.
I sprayed mace in my mouth when I was a kid, and I see it's 5 million.
I remember you did that.
Yeah, I had to have a wash rag in my mouth.
The story I remember is you found it in your mom's purse, and you thought it was like breath freshener.
This was back in the days of breath freshener spray.
And for our younger audience, you used to actually make these little spray.
Yeah.
What's the Jim Carrey movie where he sprayed it?
Oh man, is it The Mask?
And he
no, Dumb and Dumber.
Is it Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, because he sprays it in one dude's eyes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I thought
that legit used to be a thing. Like people carry around a little aerosol like pump.
We need to bring that back.
Breath freshener.
Well, yeah, I found that in her purse as a little kid, and I thought it was freaking breath freshener. It was mace. Whew, man.
He maced his own throat.
Own throat. So what I'm getting at is Bobby Lee and I feel like, all right, Apple Podcast, we're sitting at 231.
Okay, I see where we're going. So
ratings.
if we get to a certain level, we'll eat a ghost pepper.
Yeah. And I'm saying slivers of ghost pepper here because these things are like deadly to the point I've put up pictures on my story of them, and I've had a farmer message me, and he was like, when you pick those, be sure and wear rubber gloves because he said it will get through your gloves and burn your hands. Like they're like so insanely hot.
Oh man, I could imagine like taking a leak after you
he said his hands burned for 3 days. He said he wore like, they were not rubber, but they were like a plastic or something. I don't know. They weren't very high quality gloves. He said the stuff got through them, and you can't touch them because now they're ready to harvest. They're bright violet red, and
oh shit!
Like you can't touch them because they put out like an oil on the outside of them. So if you went and touched them, like your finger could burn, and then like if you touched your eye, it'd like burn your eye out of your head. So I mean, they're crazy hot. So this is like a big thing here. So we're at 231 on Apple Podcasts. We're at like 258 or 260 on Spotify. So if we can get to 300 on either one of them in like, what do you think, a month?
Oh shit, that's too easy. We need to dangle that carrot way out there.
Oh man!
Or we could do like a total number, because then people with iPhones could double dip.
Yeah. So what do you mean? What's the total number?
So we're at like what 480 right now
altogether. 231 plus 258.
So yeah, closer to 290, 289,
490.
Oh yeah, 490, 489. Let's say if we can get to 600 by Halloween.
Okay. All right.
That's a month and a half, a little over a month and a half.
Yeah.
600 by Halloween.
We will do it on air.
Yeah.
We will try.
Which we can then share that part of the video like on Instagram, but it's another good incentive for people to start watching on YouTube too.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll definitely, if we get there, we'll put it out on there. But if we hit
600 total reviews between Spotify and Apple Podcasts by Halloween.
Yeah. That's it. That's a good goal.
That's the parameters. All right.
October 31st is when it ends.
600. That is attainable.
That is.
Like that's out there, but that's attainable. Because there's a lot of you listening right now that hadn't left a rating or review.
There's a ton.
The majority of you.
Yes.
Yeah, because if that's all the rating and reviews we got,
I can see. Yeah, I look at the downloads. I can see like where they're listening.
It's the same way like on my YouTube channel, like 1 in 10 people even hit the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, you sons of bitches, that takes not even a second to hit the thumbs up. Like, just
Yep.
hit it.
Yeah.
But-
So now I'm not saying we're gonna like take a whole pepper and eat it a piece, but we will cut some off of this pepper and we'll each eat it and die slowly. So there you go, guys. There's your
We'll have
goal.
to do it like at the beginning of an episode so that you can watch us
Suffer through the whole
slowly
episode.
die the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh.
Might bring a glass of milk to that one.
We'll have some milk for sure. Maybe a bowl. Well, you can't have ice cream. I was going to say maybe a
Right.
bowl of ice cream.
Hell, I've even had to. I'm drinking the Fairlife milk now
Dang.
because
Man.
it has half the carbs that just regular whole milk has.
That's terrible.
And I quit drinking beer. And
Well-
hell, I'm drinking my whiskey right now. Which, of course, whiskey no carbs, but
Well, you just
I've
gonna,
always said I'm a beer drinker. I'm not
You
a
are,
whiskey
yep.
guy. But I just like no.
you
I'm
went
kind
to-
of like you now. I hadn't drank anything all week.
Yeah.
I've had a little wine, with dinner, but yeah, total
Damn.
lifestyle change, man.
Damn.
You get old. For those of you guys younger than I am, it happens, man. Hell, that's what kills me. I don't want to keep rambling on, but I'm skinny.
yeah.
Like, I'm a skinny regular. I run all the time. I'm like,
Nah,
really?
dude, you are
And I don't eat terrible.
you are preaching to the choir, man. My blood pressure runs like borderline high.
Oh shit, my blood pressure was like 107/70.
Shit, I'd be dead. Mine runs probably 140, 135 to 140/88.
I don't want to say I was devastated when they called me and told me that. I was like, are you shitting me? Because
Damn.
I had just about convinced myself that mine was high last summer because I had been like eating a ton of ice cream like right before I went and got checked.
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, doesn't even run in the family, but apparently I got whatever. But anyway, yeah, y'all eat right out there.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch
Watch
you
your
next
carbs.
week.
Eat lots of beef.
Yes. Yep. See y'all.
Y'all have a good one.